let's go for a walk and talk. All right, so there's some things that I need to say, because from my last video, it seems as though most people are pretty much wanting to know the backstory of why I am in the position that I am, which is homeless. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and explain what's going on, or at least give the general idea or the short story. Okay, even though I've done a few videos, you know, basically explaining, but I figured, let me just go ahead and say what I need to say. So speaking of my last video, okay, the link will be in the description for you guys to go and check out that last video, okay? Side note, I would like to thank everyone who donated to my PayPal, and as well as buy me a coffee, okay? So I would just like to say thank you to everyone who has donated to my PayPal, and as well as buy me a coffee, to help me to get out of this situation and to reach my goals, okay? So I won't mention everyone's name, but I will say to those who are watching who have done so, thank you very much. Peace and blessings to you, and thank you for your support. And we will win, not just me, we will win. Now, back to what I was saying. Some of you may know that I used to live in Thailand, and I was out there for about, shall we say, a year and a couple of months, okay? And so last year, when I came back to London, I had to take care of some personal business, and as well as there were other, you know, pressing matters that I needed to take care of. Unfortunately, the things that I needed to sort out, you know, my personal business, unfortunately took a lot longer than I anticipated in terms of, you know, getting it sorted and things like that. And because of that, this also, you know, put me in a position where I was basically using my savings and certain things, because I wasn't anticipating that I was going to be, you know, in this country for that long. I mean, let alone 2-3 months. So as the months were going by, and obviously, you know, I'm waiting for things to change, and also I had certain personal matters, like I said, that were pressing, and it's going to take some time to basically get it solved. All right. Unfortunately, like I've said before in previous videos, and I'll say it again, that I really can't get into exactly what happened. And I'm sorry if you feel like, hey, you know, you would like to know the details and it makes a difference. But, you know, I ask that you please respect the fact that, you know, I'm entitled to my privacy. I'm entitled, you know, to my discretion. So like I was saying, as the months goes by, my savings are going and all sorts of things are happening. And so just when I thought, okay, it was safe to make a decision that I can live off the savings and then I'll be gone soon, it turns out that life ended up taking all sorts of turns and twists all in between. And if you watch some of my previous videos, you know, you can pretty much see that. So speaking of my previous videos, okay, I suggest you go back and you watch some of those videos where I'm showing you what's going on, why it's going on, so that you can have a better idea as to why I ended up in this position. So obviously the biggest factor in this whole equation is obviously money. And so because, you know, the cost that I had to endure with the personal matter, as well as time and all these things that I lost, I just kept losing on all sorts of ends. And even just when I think, okay, I was going to be okay, another twist comes. Just when I think, okay, well, let me do it differently. And sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. Now, with that said, I could have probably made certain decisions differently, and I could have, would have, should have, right? But the bottom line is that I tried, and some things worked, some things didn't. And that's how life is sometimes, where you have to try in order to find out. So when I first came here, basically, I was staying in hotels, you know, at that time, okay? And so, like I said, you know, as my savings started to deplete, I couldn't afford a hotel. So I had to basically, you know, resort to a hostel, because a hostel is a lot cheaper. Even though with a hostel, you're basically sharing a bedroom with many people, but you know, the way I see it is, to me, it's better than sleeping on the streets and totally being homeless, where you're sleeping rough and things like that. And obviously, you know, if I can avoid being in a position like that, I'd rather do that. And so because of all of these things that has transpired, this is what has brought me to this point. And this is why I did the video, basically just letting you guys know what's going on, because I figured, since this is about my story and this is about how I am going about my life, and I choose to put myself on blast, whether or not you think it's good or not, that's up to your thoughts and to your discretion. But I can tell you this, I can live with it, because this is my story, and I have no shame in saying this is real life. This is not a joke, okay? So whoever wants to feel whatever they want to feel, it's okay. But here's what I will tell you. For as long as I'm telling my story, one of these days, we can all look back and say, I remember when he was like this. Or someone could look at the story and say, I'm in the same position as you. And that's why I did one of those videos where I was talking about myself in terms of my age. I'm single, I had no kids, and the fact that I'm sharing myself, I'm sharing my life, you know, I have to tell you, the responses, the comments, I mean, to be honest, yeah, I had a, you know, couple of negative people in the comments and things like that, and it's okay, but the bottom line is there was a lot more positive. And as a matter of fact, there were loads of people who came out and said, hey, I share what you're saying because I'm in that position, I'm this, blah 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 blah. And I'm telling you, it was the most amazing feeling, you know, putting aside the views and things like that. But for me, just the comments alone meant everything to me, because, you know, my whole point was to say, I'm sharing my life. And if my life, you know, can make a difference in one person, then I've done my job, and I'm good with that. And I'd rather take that any old day, even if it means from one viewer. To me putting my life on blast, or whatever you want to call it, is worth it, just so that one person just for that one person. And it makes a difference in their world. Just remember in life, we are all not immune to the trials and the tribulations of life. We are not immune. Sorry. And so I am a living example of just that. But it doesn't mean what I'm going through is permanent. It just means that things happen and I just have to make adjustments each and every time so that not only I can get it right, but also I make adjustments to say, okay, what's gonna work, what's not gonna work. Let me also make this clear also. Now, I've had support from family and friends, by the way, okay? So, you know, all is not lost in terms of certain things. So I just want to make that very, very abundantly clear, all right? But at the same time, I am responsible for myself. I'm responsible for my actions. I'm responsible for just me. It's just me. That's it. There's nothing else. I'm not begging anyone, you know, or I'm not trying to make anyone feel any kind of way. You know, my life, it is what it is, right? And so this is why in the last video, I also said that if you would like to help support me, you know, not just financially or whatever resource you might have, then please reach out. But if you would like to help me financially in getting out of this situation, okay, and speaking of, I'm gonna do a separate video, okay, explaining what my goal is so that you guys can try to help me to reach that goal, and then we can move on to the next phase of my life so that I can make a turnaround in as well as I can move forward in life. So if you would like to help me out, please donate to my PayPal or my Buy Me a Coffee, okay? The link will be in the description for you to do so. Any kind of help that you can give to help me get out of this situation and to be able to help me with my goal. And yes, I will do another video explaining what the goal is, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, keep me in your thoughts and your prayers that we are going to win. I am going to turn my life around, that I am going to be in a much better and happier place than ever before. And I claim this in faith, and I claim this to the universe and to the God up above. If you would like to keep up with my story, okay, and see how things are going, just simply subscribe to my channel. Please hit the notification bell so that you will be notified each and every time a new video is uploaded, and as well as give this a like, share this video with your family and your friends, and as well as leave me a comment. Just leave me a comment. Let me know what you think, okay? And I will try to respond to you, all right? Other than that, as always, booyah!